as all those couples filter back into their seats. I'm thinking about how on this night, we step across the threshold into 5786. And I want to talk to you about something simple, something we do every single day, waking up. When I was very young, I was an early riser. As a teenager, not so much. And to wake me up in time for the school day, my mother revised a ritual from her own childhood. I can still hear her morning song carrying down the hallway. Modeh ani lifanecha. She reached my room. Melech chai v'kayam. She entered, tugging gently at the blanket. Shehechazarta bi nishmati. Bechemla, and finally, I'd surrender, and together we would complete the blessing for waking, Rabbi emunatecha. This blessing, gratitude to God for having survived the night, was my very first alarm clock. Many a mechanical contraption would follow, but these days, I find that I don't need an alarm. Once again, my morning begins with the sound of a leading lady in my life walking down the hallway, a door creaking open, a voice calling, "Daddy?" A hurried patter of little feet, and there's Edith, clutching one doll or another, rushing to my side of the bed, tugging at the covers, eager to begin our day together. The words of that blessing once sung by my mother now return so easily to me as I pray with my daughter. Liturgically speaking, Modeh ani is a relatively modern prayer, a mere 400 years old. And yet there is a far more ancient phrase we are commanded to teach our children to recite each morning, as we've done this evening and we'll do tomorrow. The Shema. Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. Our instruction begins with listening, not merely obeying, but paying deep attention. As the days of awe unfold, our prayers widen from the individual to the collective. Shema kolenu, hear our voice, not just mine, not just yours, but all of ours, together, a chorus of needs and hopes. And then on Rosh Hashanah morning, a third form of listening arrives. Lishmoa kol shofar, to hear the voice of the shofar. In that moment, words fall away, replaced by a raw, haunting cry. Maimonides saw this as the alarm clock of the soul. In his Mishneh Torah, he wrote, "The sound of the shofar contains an allusion, as if saying, 'Awake, O sleepers, from your sleep. Arise from your slumber. Examine your deeds. Return.'" This is the shofar's call, to rouse us, to shake us, to remind us of who we are. But here's the question. Until you have heard the shofar's call, are you truly awake? Are you truly present? Tomorrow morning we will gather to hear the shofar's call. Those 100 varied blasts are meant to fling wide the very gates of heaven. However, they can neither push us through nor transform our fate. They are merely the alarm, attuned for each ear, with a perfect resonance to pierce right into each heart, if only we are ready to hear it. And is that the shofar's only purpose? No. It has always carried many voices. At Sinai, where we famously or infamously overslept, it announced revelation. At Jericho, it sounded in battle, urging courage. On the Jubilee, it signaled release and renewal, the freeing of slaves, the forgiveness of debts. And in the days of redemption, tradition teaches us that the call of the shofar will bring the exiles home. This humble ram's horn has always sounded the possibility of hope. As the psalmist sang each morning, Adonai, at daybreak you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my request before you and wait. And if we are heard, we give thanks, as it says in Psalm 47, call out to God with the voice of joy, because God ascends with the teruah, with the voice of the shofar. This psalm also speaks of people lifting their voices together. But each of us must also hear that sound reverberating, resonating in the chambers of our own heart. Which is why on this night, as we enter a new year, I invite each of you to consider, what might the voice of the shofar awaken in you? What is the alarm clock of your soul? And when you hear it, will it be like a parent's morning song or a child's soft call before the dawn, nudging you to wake up, to shake off the dust of sleep, to ready yourself for what the new morning and new year will bring? Tomorrow, as those notes still echo throughout our sanctuary, we will respond with these words. May we and all your people, the family of Israel, be remembered and recorded in the book of life for blessing and for peace. May we be worthy of this, each of us, every one of us, a community who listens, who prays, whose shared voice resounds like the shofar as together we step boldly into 5786, truly awake. Shana Tova.